Okay, there we go. That's that. Good evening. This is the May 18th, 2022 meeting of the Bronx Community Board 12 Nominating Committee. The nominating committee consists of myself as the chair, Victor Brown, Ms. Denise Bond, Ted James, and Shaniqua Moore. Okay. From the committee right now, I see we have Shaniqua Moore is on the line, Ted James on the line, and I'm sure that the other members of the nominating committee will be here shortly. So what we're going to discuss tonight is the CB12 executive committee election and the method in which we will conduct our June election. On May 26th, 2022, which is our next board meeting, we will be taking nominations from the floor for candidates in our June election, May 26th, next Thursday at our full board meeting. We're going to do an in-person election as well as we're going to utilize the Google form for those that are not able to attend physically. And we're also going to make a paper ballot for those that are going to use a paper ballot. See what else. So from my committee, what I'm going to need, since we're going to be in person, well, are we going to be in person next week? No, we're going to be in person in June. Okay, so what I'm going to need from the committee is someone to record the nominations as they're being taken from the floor next Thursday. Shaniqua, will that be you? Or Ted? I'm just going to start naming names. I'm just going to start giving out jobs.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to unmute. What did you say? I'm so sorry.
I said next week at our board meeting, when nominations are taken from the floor, I'm going to need someone to record those nominations as they're being taken from the floor. Is that going to be you?
Oh, I can do that.
You can do that?
Sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm gonna start delegating one by one. Yeah. So say it again, Shaniqua. I don't hear you. Okay. No problem. No problem. We're gonna discuss how we're gonna create this ballot. Considering that I'm sweating because I was just doing a little workout. Anyway, considering that I was the chair for the last 2 elections, I will continue to make the Google form ballot. I will continue to do that. And then, like I said, at this time, we're going to use, I see you, Ms. Benitez. At this time, we're going to also have a paper ballot because we will be voting in person. Now, I'm not sure who heard George say before he got off the line that 2 weeks prior to the June election, we're going to have a candidates forum for everyone that's running, incumbents and people that are also running for the seats. We're going to have a candidates forum, and then immediately after the candidates forum, the election will be open to vote for 2 weeks. 2 weeks prior to our June board meeting. Okay, everybody got that? Let me see what's my notes. Okay. So at our June board meeting, we're also going to need, I'm going to need someone to tabulate the ballots. Now, I have one question. No one on our committee is interested in running for an executive position, correct? Who's here? Shaniqua, Ted. No, right? Because you can't be on the nominating committee if you're running for a seat on the executive committee.
Oh, no, running for nothing. No.
Okay. Ted, no, right? I don't know what Ted is. Oh, Ted, I see him. Okay, so we just need to know that.
Yeah, Clinton, that's a no for me as well.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so that's that. Like I said, the election is going to take place. The election day will, the tabulation of the votes. The election will end at 5 p.m. on June 23rd, 2022. 5 p.m. on June 23rd. So if you're voting, you have to get your ballot in prior to 5 p.m. on June 23rd, 2022. I will cut off the Google ballot at 5 p.m. on that date. Okay, everybody understand that? Now, I just want to read a section of our election bylaws, just so everyone is aware. This is section 2 of the election bylaws. Not less than 4 weeks prior to the meeting at which the election of officers is to be held, the board shall elect a nominating committee of 5 members. Okay, we did that. The committee shall present one or more candidates for each of the offices to be filled at the election meeting. Additional candidates shall be nominated from the floor at this meeting. A majority of the appointed members present and voting shall be required to elect a candidate to office. Should no candidates receive a majority on the first ballots, all of the candidates except those 2 receiving the largest number of votes shall be dropped from the ballot, and a second ballot shall take place. Voting shall be closed or open ballot at the discretion of the board. So right now, as you all should know, the current executive committee consists of the chair, Dr. Michael Burke, first vice chair, Jiria Bennett, second vice chair, John Isaac, corresponding secretary, Judith Benitez, recording secretary, Carla Brasati, treasurer, Tolene Dickerson. So at the time of the time that we take the nominations from the floor, me as the chair or the board chair, let the members know that nominations are now in order for the office of chairperson, etc., 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 etc. You nominate someone, no second is necessary. When it appears everyone wishing to make a nomination has done so, the board chair will then say, are there any further nominations? There being none, pause. Nominations are now closed. Okay, so that's just some information on the election process. George sent a letter to Tom Lucane at the borough president's office. Hello? Hello? Okay, George sent a letter to Tom yesterday. Basically, the letter was about, let me see, hold on. Doing voting online like we have done previously during the pandemic. Count the votes in person for those board members that show up. We have extra ballots for those that show up and want to vote in person. Print the ballots for those in attendance and count the vote that evening. Anybody that's participating virtually will be counted if they are visible on camera. Now, to have your vote counted, if you're voting virtually, you have to be on camera. You must be on camera. You must be on camera. So our vote will be held during our June board meeting, which is after the June 14th date. June 14th, we would open voting 2 weeks prior to June meeting. I'm not sure what he means about the June 14th date though, but anyway, so we're waiting for an answer from Tom to see if we can do both. We can have virtual vote and paper ballots utilized for this election, since we'll be in person in June. Okay? And really, that's all I have for tonight. I just wanted to give out a duty. Ted's going to tabulate along with Denise Bond, and Shanique was going to record the nominations from the floor on our board meeting next Thursday. Other than that, I really don't have any more to say. I just wanted to give out some information. Okay, Ms. Benitez, you have your hand up. Yes.
Clint, you mentioned the fact that you have dates night. Is that going to be actual in person?
I don't hear you say that again.
Candidates night, when the candidates come
The candidates forum is going to be 2 weeks prior to the election. Yes.
in person?
Oh, I have to find that out from George. You're right. That's a good question. Very good question. I have to find out from George.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, but either way, it's going to be 2 weeks prior.
Okay.
Okay. Because I think June 14th is the date. That's what he wrote in that letter. June 14th is the date when the legislature has said we can have open meetings. So let me see. 2 weeks prior to that, to the election, would be the 9th. So it probably will not be in person. The candidates forum will probably be virtual.
Okay.
Okay. Since it's before the 14th.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it's to clarify, Clinton, it's in June. The forum is going to be in June.
Yes. The
Okay.
forum has to be 2 weeks before the election.
Right. So I guess we'll start planning that after our board meeting next week.
Right, because we have to, we don't know who's running, so then we'll
Right.
plan that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry I'm late. I had a relative in the hospital. I had to go and visit. So sorry. So
Okay.
I'm running all over the place, but I'm here.
All right. I'm going to delegate a duty to you too. I gave one to Shaniqua. I gave duty to Ted, and well, maybe you can help Ted tabulate. For now, that'll be your duty. Okay,
All right.
Denise?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Tabulate. That sounds
All right.
like me.
All right. Very good. The paper ballots, because the Google form ballots will tabulate themselves, but the paper ballots, you're going to help tabulate those. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. I'm on it.
Okay.
Clinton,
So-
also make sure that you ask the people that are currently sitting in those seats if they want to continue.
I didn't hear that again. Say that again.
If you should ask the people that are currently sitting in those seats if they want to run again.
Okay. I mean, well, I'm probably going to ask that next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just so
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So does anyone else have any more questions? Paula, Denise, Miss Claude, Miss Sadie,
I'm good. No questions here.
Miss Gibson,
Clinton,
Ted, yes.
No questions. No questions.
how will we be receiving nominations?
From the floor next week.
I know.
At the board
Is
meeting.
it gonna be verbal, or we're taking email, written? How are they gonna submit their nomination?
It's going to be verbal at our board meeting, because we're going to be at the board meeting next Thursday.
Okay.
And Shanique was going to record those.
And that will be the only time for nominations?
Yes, because the election is in June. At our next board meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. So, I don't like long meetings. So, if nobody has any more questions, we can go.
I have a question.
Okay.
I thought the process would be you have people who are running, who are running before you get to the part where they're nominated from the floor.
You're saying you thought that we would know who's running before we get to the nomination from the floor?
Right.
That you would have a slate.
Yes, yeah. That you would have a slate before.
Okay. I got to find that out.
What is it?
I don't want to answer. I don't want to answer the question. Carla, would you know? Do you know? Ms. Benitez, do you know?
Usually you do.
Yes, you do. And the other thing, when you're nominating from the floor, I think you say that 3 times. Is there anyone who wants to be nominated from the floor?
Right.
Is
Well, I
there
took this.
anyone who wants to be nominated from the floor? Is there anyone
Right,
who
so-
wants to be nominated?
Calls coming in. Let it do it.
Yeah. So I agree with Ms. Claude. Normally, I sat on the nominating committee a few times, and we proposed a slate based on who spoke to us in advance, the committee members in advance of the meeting, and we proposed a slate, and then on the day of the election, right, you call out 3 times, are there any nominations from the floor? So normally people are expected to throw their hat in the ring ahead of time.
Yes.
And alert a member of the nominating committee, and then if they don't, they can be nominated from the floor.
Okay. So I will contact Ursula tomorrow and have her send out an email. I received a couple from the incumbents. Well, from the incumbents, and I received 1 from the incumbents so far. So what can be done is, I guess, you can send me an email or send Ursula an email or George an email and let them know that if you're an incumbent, that you're looking to run for your seat again. Okay? Just to make it official. And we're also going to need bios again. We need bios again prior to the candidates forum. Right? But I'll definitely find out tomorrow. I mean, I trust that all of you, what you said is correct. So we'll take care of that. Have the slate prior to next Thursday. Okay?
Okay,
Anything
sounds good.
Anything else? Okay. Well, I like a short meeting.
I'm good.
So if there's nothing else, everyone, I guess we can have a good night, and we'll see each other next week, Thursday. Okay?
Do you need a motion to close the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I make a motion that we close the meeting at 7:21.
7:21 it is. Thank you.
Second, if you need one.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Denise.
This bond just came in to close the meeting, huh?
Okay, that's good. She delegated herself to make the motion to close the meeting. That's good.
I serve the purpose.
That's right. Okay,
Okay.
that's it.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
All right,
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good
Next
night.
Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.